Dad, where are we taking the Matrons car? Shut up, lad, and just keep pushing. Bing! Bing! G'day, sport. So you come for a letter from the sergeant's desk? Well, read on.
Oh, hello. Thought I'd better sit down eventually and get this video cast down. It is Monday, the 22nd of June. I know it's the 22nd of June because it's my son's birthday. And I've just been having a chat with him and my two granddaughters. They're crazy. What a crazy trio those lot. But great fun. Right, usual thing. I've got a few items. I say a few. I've got that many to do today, but I shall bring them all for you, and I'll see you in a minute. Right, what do I got for you? I'll tell you what. First one, Bobby Moore. It's a little question for you. Oh, Bobby Moore, the late England captain from 1966. Now, did you know something? On 2 occasions, he played in an international team alongside one of the other legends of the game, Pele. Can you name the 2 occasions where he played in an international team alongside, not against, alongside Pele? He played against him in the World Cup in 1970 in the quarter-final. But which games did he play with him? I was listening to the radio this morning, and I tell you what, it nearly put me off my breakfast. If I can find it, I think there's a recording of this woman. She's an American woman, and what she's doing, her previous claim to fame is that she's done a podcast on how to make a cup of tea. Yeah, no chance. Well, her latest one is a bit more elaborate, and it's how to make scrambled eggs. Just in case I can't find it, this is how it went. Oh, take a couple of eggs and break them in a bowl. No problem. Whisk them up. No problem. Put salt and pepper on them. Well, you should never put salt on them because it changes them. Anyway, that's not the big problem. Put two teaspoons or tables, I don't know what it is. Put some sugar in. What? Okay. And then some squirty foam. Squirty. Whisk it all up together and stick it in the microwave. What? Squirty foam and sugar. What a strange country. No wonder they're having all the problems they are. Here's the results of make sure you keep your balls shiny. Whatever I call it. Okay, how did you get on? Here are the results.
And the first one is Bob Willis. And next we have John Snow. And that's Fred Truman. Brian Statham. Harold Larwood, Bodyline Man. And Frank Tyson.
Did you do okay? Got another one for you. My brother-in-law's come up with an airplane one today. An airline one. Trouble is, the names of the airlines are all written on the side of the planes. So I think I'm going to have to obliterate them out. But it's worth it, worth a gamble. I'll come back to you on that. The results of my my mystery letters and numbers quiz. SM by E equals 56, or 7M by E. Sort of give it away. So 7 multiplied by 8 equals 56. 3V in a T, 3 violins in a trio. And 454G in a P, 454 grams in a pound. You see, there's always one for the imperial measurement people. I've got 3 more for you. 4 equals the SR of 16. 4 equals SR of 16. 13 in a BD. 13 in a BD. 7DS. 7DS. 7 Delta Sierra. Okay? I'll make a note of those. 7. Yeah. So I drove down to Stockport the other day, and I parked up. I thought, I'll be a good boy, I'll pay for the car park. So got my phone out, went to, what's it called, Pay Go, or Ring Park Go. Oh, I can't remember it. There it is, that's the name. So you put it out, and it tells you where you are, and you put £2 for 1 hour. Fine. I get out the car, walk down. There's a sign on the meter which you can get a ticket from, saying, "Oh, all parking charges are suspended until further notice." So I'll be wonder where that £2 went to. Never mind. When I was a lad, of course, you know by now I went to boarding school, and I stayed in this place, and it was a house which accommodated 60 lads, and we got looked after by a housemaster and his wife, and there was a lady also who looked after us. She looked after all the laundry and everything, and she was called the matron. She looked after our medical needs as well. Anyway, as was traditional, on the last night of term, a certain group of people, not including myself, I have to say, they executed a bit of a mean plan. And they got her car, which was parked outside, a Morris 1000, much loved, and they pushed the car up College Road, up to the dining hall. We didn't eat in the house. We ate at the dining hall at about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. We had to get up and go up the road. So they pushed it up the road, and then through the gates of the school, and up to the dining hall. Then they got some planks and pushed it up the steps of the dining hall. Okay, through the doors, which were big wide doors, and into the dining hall. They then got some tables and they jacked it up onto these tables, okay? And then in the middle of the dining hall, they left the car on 2 tables. Put all the tables back round them in perfect arrangement, and then put everything back, shut the doors, and left it, and went back to the house. Of course, they get up in the morning. I mean, the first people through the door of the dining hall suddenly find this car stuck on 2 tables. Oh, luckily, I say luckily, they were just the matron was just in the process of ringing the local constabulary when they managed to get word back to her that her car had been found and where it had been found, and I think she took it in quite good spirit. But, this is the kind of learning exercise that we were going through. It's important that, well, at least we knew the person's card that we were stealing. Anyway, that was the sort of thing they got up to. Yeah, there's some other good capers, but the Matrons removal. I suddenly had a thought. My father had a penchant for a particular kind of biscuit. And we used to have them on a Saturday afternoon. And my mother used to buy them from a cake shop in Macclesfield. And I was having a devil of a job remembering what they were called. So I'm going to ask you, see if you can remember. Okay, so they were round, about the size of a wagon wheel, but thinner. Okay, chocolate on one side. Okay, on the other side, a mixture of perhaps some cherries, some nutty kind of stuff, some raisins, and that sort of thing. Can you remember what those kind of biscuits were called? (1972 to 1977) were the halcyon years of the Indoor League, presented by Fred Truman, who used to wear a cardigan and smoke a pipe. And he used to have a pint of beer, which he used to put on the side of the snooker table or the pool table. Eop. Fantastic. And so, when you think of some of the sports that they actually highlighted, one arm wrestling, skittles, and then the bigger thing was, it was the birthplace of televised darts. And the first season, it was quite extraordinary because it was filmed in Yorkshire, in Leeds, and they used a Yorkshire dartboard, which doesn't have any treble on it. And the first season, they paid for £100 for the tournament, and it was restricted to only people who lived in the Yorkshire area. Now, the fact that I did discover was the person who brought this to the screen, the producer and the creator of the whole thing, was Sid Waddell, who went on, of course, become one of the fantastic voices of darts, and he created it. But of course, it's got this iconic figure of Fred Truman, and when at the end of each program, he used to come on and say goodbye and said, "I'll see thee." It's fantastic. So here's a couple of little clips of the Indoor League, and this is a long time ago, and hasn't the sport come a long way since these days?
With Freddie and his pint.
Fires 40. Yes!
Now then, today we're paying homage to the champions of the Indoor League. 9 lads and lass who came here with high hopes and left with gold medals and cash. We're going to recapture the tensions, the highlights, the skills and the excitement of the past few weeks. The first champion to be crowned was George Jones of Northamptonshire, who won the first ever televised Cheese Skittles Championships with skill like this.
Of the Cheese Skittles competition, both Northampton players, all the Leicestershire players, having been eliminated at the mock.
It's about time we were drying up. We'll leave you with a look at all our champions together. 10 super sports stars in their own right. I'll say that.
Sorry about these iconic photographs, but I just love this photograph. This is another one, because my father was a local, a local MP. He was a local councillor. I think the local paper came round and took some photographs of us again, And this is in our sitting room. Now, the sitting room was not called the sitting room in our house. It was called the smoke room, with the amount of cigarettes that my father used to get through. It was called that for a very good reason. And this is us. This photograph is got to be 1959. I would have said 1959, 1960. And this is me with my brother and sisters in our front room, in front of a roaring fire. I'm not sure about the health and safety of that. And it would appear that I'm in charge of putting a jigsaw together. Look at that. What a beautiful sight. Now, let's just take you around the room. You can see the sunshine flowing through the window. Now, if you go to the window and go to the right-hand side, you can't quite see it, but there's a door there. Now, that door went to, would you believe, the house had its own air raid shelter, and it was actually attached to the house. You just go down there. Now, but the strange thing, for the whole of my life, I never ever saw that door open. The reason was that they lost the key to it, and the only other way into the air raid shelter was out in the garden. You used to go down some steps, and you used to go down and play down there. But it was a pretty dark, damp place. But so that's that. And then you can see that's a picture of my above the television. Oh, look at that great telly! I remember that telly arriving. Yeah, and my grandfather's above the telly. Now, if you go to the top of the walls, you can see there's a wooden shelf with plates on it. So it's a plate rail. What do they call them? A plate shelf. And my mother used to have plates on that, and she hated them. And they were all this blue and white patterned Chinese plates. Anyway, my father had a very bad track record with fireworks and anything pyrotechnic. So one bonfire night, we were having some fireworks on the lawn just outside this window here. And one of the fireworks wasn't going off properly. Now, it was one of those little helicopter ones with a little busy one. And, light the thing, step back. Well, he got fed up with it. So he does nothing more than he brings it in the house and throws it on the fire. Well, my mother hated those plates, so that when this thing went off, it's now flying round the room at above head height and hitting everything on the shelves and everything. But not one single plate did it hit. She was furious. She thought it would take out at least half a dozen plates. No joy. So that was it. The old settee there was a great piece, and we all played on that and it was melting into a horse and into all sorts of things. And the old poof, that little round thing. I mean, I don't remember it looking as good as that. It was in a right raggedy state. But this chair here, you remember we did had the picture of us all standing around it. Oh, a good probably 10 years, I don't know, probably 7 years after this photograph, we had a photograph of us all together. And my mother was sitting in one of those chairs. Now, you can't see it, but we had some little low wooden tables. And in the end of the wooden table were little wooden pegs, okay, which kept the table rigid, okay. Well, at some stage, one of the little pegs went missing. And nobody could find it. And it wasn't until we moved in 1976 and the removal men were moving one of these chairs that this peg fell out the bottom. So after about 20 years, the peg suddenly turned up. So that was great. I've got the table here now, so I'm glad that happened. But it's just a lovely scene. I can't work out what happened to the clock. I've got the one of the, you can see there's 3 cricket balls there. I think there's 4 altogether, and I got to keep 2 of them. I think my brother got a couple of them, and there's brass candlesticks there, and I've got 2 of those as well. But yeah, everything got every little memories that it got. Now this photograph, I found this photograph in a box of photographs some years ago, and it was an awful state. It had a crease across it, and I spent 4 days, I think it was, going pixel by pixel, repairing the photographs. And just when I finished the whole restoration, bloody computer crashed. Oh my God, I couldn't believe it. I'd lost every single correction. I don't know what I was playing at. I hadn't saved it at all, and there, every single correction is gone. But I don't know. I plucked up courage, I suppose, and eventually I did it all over again. But I hope it gives you the atmosphere of our front room. It was quite a long, narrow room. But that's the smoke room at Upton Hall. You know. And I would have said that's autumn, probably 1959. But lovely picture. I love that picture. I thought I've just been flicking through some photographs on the my iPad, my thigh pad, and just come across a couple of pictures of me on. So I don't remember these, but it's me sitting on my mum's knee on a beach, and it was the summer of 1957. I think my dad had a Leica camera, and he used to snap a load of photographs off. And look at me, I was a lovely bouncing baby, wasn't I? Don't know where that is. Yeah, but I was having a fun day out at the beach. I was channel hopping over the weekend and came across Von Ryan's Express. Oh, I couldn't resist it. It was absolutely wonderful. Yep, Frank Sinatra, Trevor Howard. 1965? Oh my God, it's a long time ago. So what's that, 20? That's 55 years ago, for crying out loud. It was as fresh as it was. Oh, tremendous. What's the trailer?
You are about to share every fantastic step of the most daring mass escape ever conceived in the mind of man. Only a madman could plan it.
What the hell is this?
Only desperate men fighting for their lives could follow it. Only a hijacked prison train could blast them on their frenzied dash to freedom. From the great bestseller comes this story of an incredible American pilot down behind enemy lines in Italy.
Ryan, Joseph L., Colonel, United States Army Air Corps, 0718359. Don't you salute senior officers in your army, Major?
Who does this cocky, overbearing Ryan character think he is?
I'm the ranking officer here, Major. What I say goes. Is that clear, mister?
You better know what you're doing, unless you want a mutiny on your hands.
Why do 600 prisoners of war hate him worse than Hitler?
You get your eye crossed now, Von Ryan.
Is this man they call Von Ryan traitor or hero? How does he turn a prison hell train into his own high-balling headquarters for his private war against the Nazis? Suspense that races from the toe of the Italian boot, through Rome, to the tip of the Swiss Alps, from the base of your spine to the edge of your nerves, as Von Ryan's boxcar commandos erupt in a blast of action all over the map. Betrayal at Pescara. Masquerade at Verona.
Americanisch, ne?
A beautiful stowaway who makes her move at Bologna.
Why don't you close the door?
And relentless, breathtaking Nazi pursuit every foot of the way.
Can't this damn thing go any faster? Mr. Smith!
It takes a madman to run this gauntlet of death. It takes guts and glory, arrogance and fury. It takes the man they call Von Ryan.
Well, that's all for this afternoon. Bit of a truncated day. And I shall see you again on Wednesday. And look after yourselves. Look after each other. And don't forget, listen to what the pig says.
That's all, folks.